Good morning, Dr. Bob Flower, and this is Monday, July 22nd, Master Pattern Report. Okay, so the big news of the day is Detroit bankruptcy. Folks, be aware of this. This is a microcosm of what's going to happen in America very soon. And that's not an alarmist, that's not a far-fetched notion, that's exactly what's happening. And let me explain to you why I believe that and why I see, along with the patterns that the master pattern is showing me, as to why this is going to happen throughout America. Okay. First off, this is not an immediate thing. This is something that's been developing for years. And there are numerous cities and some states that are going through the same scenario that Detroit has gone through to get to the point where it is. So it's something that has been developing. It's a continuum. It's not a right at that particular time. Okay. So it's not that hard to see if you're looking and you know what to look for. And let me give you my experience with several cities that I have served as a consultant to over the past 30, 35 years. What they do is this. They have a budget, they can't meet it, they can't raise the taxes, they can't cut the expenses, or they won't cut the expenses to bring the budget in balance. So they overproject the income. Garbage, special garbage pickups, or water bills. Okay, they'll raise the rate maybe 5%, but raise the projection 100%. Whatever different small items that you look for on the budget, that last year they were generating $1 million. Well, now this year they're telling you that the estimated projection is $2 million. Okay, of course it's not going to come anywhere near that number. So what happens then? Well, their purpose, their immediate purpose is served. The budget is, quote, balanced. Okay, but then that extra $1 million is a deficit that's then carried forward into the next year, and the next year, and the next year, and the same thing with the states. All right, the only one who gets away with that is the federal government, because they don't have the same regulation. So it just becomes a matter of time before this burden builds up, and it's happening universally throughout the country, and you're about to see whatever happens in Detroit. I can assure you, pretty much is what's going to happen in your town, in your state, and certainly in America, because America is coming to the point of bankruptcy very soon. We are in a predicament. Just think about this. They can't raise the interest rates, because if they raise the interest rates, how many of us are going to get murdered with our debt? Right? Our mortgages, for instance, right? And our credit cards, and so on and so on and so on. And, you know, our bank notes, and especially with corporations, and the federal and state governments. The burdens, the debt burdens that they've taken on couldn't possibly support an increase in interest rates. So then what happens here? The rates have to stay at the level that they're at, but they can't stay at that level because they can't sustain what's going on with the economy. People can't effectively gain any ground. There's no investment criteria. You say, well, no, that's not right, because you're getting 3.5–4% on mortgages. Yeah, but in order to make up for that, the taxes are going up, the fuel is going up because the dollar is coming down. The side effects of this are killing us. Look at the dollar itself. The dollar is almost in a free fall. And as the dollar goes down, oil and energy goes up, and so do your commodities. So you're not saving anything. In fact, it's costing you more, right? And that's exactly what's happening with Detroit. It's exactly what's happening with a number of cities throughout the country. So, again, be cognizant, America, because we're in for some big trouble. And if you don't think that these factors about drones and now black boxes in cars and the NSA keeping track of us and our data are possibly applications to keep us in line. Think about this. There are huge, huge applications to places like Switzerland. Right? I'm hearing from the Swiss that they are turning away people like it was a candy riot. I mean, people are dying to get into a solid fiscal state because they know what's coming. Euro countries have the highest debt that they've ever had, ever. And so it's getting worse. It's not getting any better because the issues are not being dealt with. You know, look at Greece. Look at what's happened there, as well as the other countries. I mean, it's a disaster living there. Spain has 27% unemployment. This country, our African American population is running what, 20%, 17% unemployment? I mean, are you kidding me? How are these people supposed to live? And it's all because that the economics are being mismanaged. And when I say mismanaged, I'm not totally blaming this on government. A lot of your major corporations, which I'm not a big fan of, are juicing us. I mean, they're getting what they want out of the government because, in fact, they own the government. They own the people that are in the government, regardless of whether it's Democrat or Republican. I don't care who it is or what it is. So, a word to the wise is sufficient, especially you younger people. You're going to get creamed. You better start speaking out. You better start thinking, not with your emotions, but with history, with your knowledge, with your understanding. If you're taking a position that's either Democrat or Republican, you're on the wrong side. Period. Because it's both. All right. Some say it differently. Some do it differently. Some benefit certain groups as compared to others. But they're both doing the same thing. So that's not the answer. Right? The answer is to let them know that you're smart, that you know what they're up to. And if they don't get their asses in line, Republican or Democrat, they're out. And if need be, a third party, which I still say is coming very soon, will be in place. And then they will really spit with nickels, as we said in the old days. So, beware. Don't say that Dr. Bob didn't tell you, because I've been telling people this for 50 years, and I've called every shot. And this is something that not only do you have to prepare yourself for disaster financially, but how about emotionally? How about physically? How about living in a police state? Right now, there's very few places in the world that you can go to and hide or survive or be out of the arm of the American government. Banks, overseas banks, they're having pressure put on them by the United States to release data on any Americans or American relatives that are opening up accounts there. Okay? And so if you don't think it's becoming a one world, and you think that that's good, you better think again. You better look a little deeper into an issue called control, right? Mass control, right? Where you have no place to go and there's no action that you can take. Beware. Beware. I'm telling you, it's coming, and it's coming soon. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you know what? Sometimes we produce our own bad news. See you soon.